Morning, Jan. How are you?
Good morning, everybody. Well, thank you. And you?
Sorry, I just cut the call. I didn't even say goodbye. Okay.
No stress at all. Geez, you guys are punctual, hey? Goodness me.
Yeah, all very punctual. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make you host first, Jan, and then they obviously ask to let few people log in on, and then I will introduce you. Hold on a second for me. Make you host. You can just check that you are host, and then you can just check your presentation is working.
Let's quickly see. Should be all good. How's that? Have we got it?
Yep, all working. Thank you. Okie dokie. Well, we'll wait another 2 minutes, and then Jan, I'll hand over to you and introduce you, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. Don't know. Okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to this morning's training. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I see a nice big crowd for you, Jan, which is awesome. Always nice to get an update on our local properties. So we've got a mixture of agents, we've got some of our inbounds, and we've got some of our staff. So you've got the whole lot. So Jan Scholtz, I will let you take it away. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Angela. It's a pleasure to be with everybody this morning. Yeah, I guess we're all trying to keep our heads above water at the moment. So I really appreciate everybody's time. And for those of you who have been part of my presentations before, you'll probably know that I'm a sweet and short presenter. So I'll try and keep things as factual as possible. And share as much information with you that is practical and that will help you put the correct guests into the correct lodge, sell the correct experience to your guests, and manage expectations, of course, but also build dreams for our travelers. But if I do skip over anything, or if you have any questions, please feel free, put up your hand. I'm always happy to answer any questions that you might have. Or if you want to keep those until the end of the presentation, we'll obviously make some time for questions and answers. So I'm going to quickly share my presentation screen here with you guys. Can you guys hopefully see the presentation?
Yes, we can.
Amanda, I can see your video, so if you don't mind just shaking your head, that'll... Okay, perfect, 100%. So we've got everybody on there. So guys, just a little bit of background. Sabi, of course, is one of South Africa's oldest privately owned game reserves. We opened our doors back in 1979, and of course it's one of the most established brands when it comes to high-end five-star safaris in Southern Africa. We're a family-owned, family-operated business. Mr. and Mrs. Loon, the owners of Sabi, are still very much involved in the company. And their vision has always been to make Sabi a home away from home, a part of their family experience, a part of their hospitality to our guests. And I think, you know, for those of you who've stayed with us before, or for those of you who've had guests stay with us in the past, most people, or well, basically everybody always comments on just how warm the hospitality and how friendly the staff and how at home they felt at Sabi. And I think that's the big important thing, that this is not a hotel in the bush. This is a much more intense and much more up close and personal experience. Guys, with regards to location, we're actually in the process of updating our map, so I don't have an updated map for you right now. But we're of course located in the Sabi Sand, right next to the Kruger National Park. We share a border with Kruger Park, but of course no fences with the reserve. So the animals move freely between ourselves and Kruger. However, humans obviously don't. So we always remain 100% exclusive to our guests who are coming on safari with us. 6,500 hectares of private game reserve that we traverse on. And of course, together with Kruger, we form part of about 5 million hectares of conservation area. That's roughly the size of Israel, to give you some perspective on the size of the land. Now, guys, I'm going to be very honest with you. Everybody has a beautiful bed. Everybody has great food. For me, the essence of the experience is the safari experience, of course. So all of our rangers who work at Sabi are trained in-house. It doesn't matter where they come from. It doesn't matter how much experience they have. They have to go through our training program and our way of doing safaris before we allow them to take guests out on drive. Now, the nice thing about that is that you can get these guys to forget about just the big five, but also focus on the birds, the bees, the trees, the insects, and really offer our guests an all-round safari experience, as opposed to being jockeys, big five jockeys chasing from one high-profile sighting to the other. So we really do pride ourselves on offering that all-round safari experience. I think it's also important to remember that the safari experience is, yes, you have your drive in the morning and you have your drive in the afternoon, but all of our rangers are also trails qualified. So we do a lot of walking safaris, especially in the morning after breakfast. And it's a great way to head out there and see the bush from a different perspective. Look at the small things that you miss while you're on your safari vehicle. Burn off some calories after a heavy night of eating and good wine and a big breakfast in the morning. So it's for me, a safari experience is a 7 to 8 hour activity day every day. So guys, keep in mind that a 2-night stay, and I know with the local market, a 2-night stay is the standard, but a 2-night stay is very compact. It is, you have hardly any time to relax and to enjoy the beautiful lodge. So if you can put your guests, and if they do have the budget, a 3-night stay or a 4-night stay, of course, makes so much sense that you can actually also enjoy the beautiful setting that you're staying in. With regards to the lodges, we have 4 lodges in our family. And I'm going to start with our first lodge, Salati Camp. And Salati Camp is a very special place. It's all about exploring vintage, pioneering Africa. Here you're going to see antique furniture, black and white pictures on the walls, old train memorabilia from the old railroad. And for me, this is a great combination for guests who are looking for that classical style of safari lodge out of Africa, if that makes any sense. 7 suites, 14 guests maximum. So it's a small, intimate, romantic lodge. You can imagine lying outside in your bathtub in the afternoon, reading your book, having a glass of champagne. What could be more romantic and what could be more beautiful than spending a day around your suite? Guys, we do not accept children at Salati Camp, so please keep that in mind. It is a 12 and up lodge, but I will talk about kids in a moment when we get to Bush Lodge. So that is, again, just an image of the inside of the lodge, the inside of the Ivory Presidential Suite. And this suite does also include a private safari vehicle in the rate. So keep that in mind if you have guests who are looking for a private safari vehicle. Bush Lodge, for me, is a lodge that works for everybody. So whether your guests are, high-powered lawyers or school teachers from a village somewhere in France, it works for everybody. This is good, old-fashioned, beautiful South African hospitality. Great food, great service, amazing management team. It's a lodge where you find everybody in the bar in the evening, having a cocktail, talking about their safaris, and again, that home away from home feeling. Now, guys, I do want to remind you that Bush Lodge is, our only family-friendly lodge. So if you have guests who are traveling with their kids, Bush Lodge is the #1 destination in the Greater Kruger area for families. We have our Elephant Center, our kids club. There's a full-time teacher at the lodge. The kids do art projects, recycling projects, ranger training. No TVs, no PlayStations, no Game Boys. It's all just about Africa, learning about the bush, having fun, burning energy. And I must say, Bush Lodge really is the #1 family destination in the Greater Kruger area. The only thing that I need you guys to please make a mental note of is that kids need to be 6 years and older to go on safari. Under the age of 6, you are required to book a private safari vehicle for your guests to be able to enjoy a safari. So please just keep that in mind. That is the only restriction that we do have. We've also, we are about to finish up the refurbishment of the luxury suites at Bush Lodge. So this is a brand new image. We have 22 luxury suites here, and we literally have replaced everything in the suite. So new floors, new beds, new tables, new chairs, new toilets, new light switches, you name it. Very important to remember that in your lounge, you have your day bed, which you can see on the right-hand side of the image there, and that does convert into 2 extra beds for kids sharing with mom and dad. Now, not all of our guests have the budget to go into a villa with their families, so a luxury suite does work for a family of 3 or a family of 4. It's about 80 square meters, so there's more than enough space for a family to share in there. Now, guys, I also often get the request, please can mommy and daddy and their little 25-year-old baby stay with them in one suite. And that typically has to do with the fact that lodges charge a single supplement for a single traveler. Guys, please keep in mind that we do not have a single supplement at Sabi, both on SA Res and on SDO rates, for a maximum of 2 singles per booking. So if you have mom, dad, and little 25-year-old baby traveling, you can book 2 suites. It's not going to cost them a single supplement. If you have 2 friends traveling that don't have to share, you can book 2 suites, and there won't be any penalties. And that's year-round, with the exception of Christmas, of course, when we all know things are a bit more complicated. And again, of course, beautiful bathrooms, completely refurbished, inside and outside showers at Bush Lodge also. Guys, for guests who do have the budget, and when you can find space in them, we have 2 beautiful 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom villas also at Bush Lodge. And these are great for families who want to have the kids close to mom and dad, but obviously not in the same bathroom, in the same bedroom, as mom and dad. So you've got your central lounge, your swimming pool, bedroom, bathroom to the left, bedroom, bathroom to the right, and of course, a private safari vehicle automatically included in the rate in the villas at Bush Lodge. Those bathrooms are absolutely stunning. And again, your second bedroom there. Of course, a bit of pampering is in order whilst you're on safari. So there's a spa at Bush Lodge. And our guests staying at Little Bush or Salati are welcome to use the spas either at Bush or at Earth Lodge. It's a quick 10-minute transfer to get the guests to the spa facilities. Now, guys, Little Bush Camp. If you find space, book it, confirm it, get the credit card details. This is an incredible little lodge. 6 suites, 12 guests maximum. It's small, it's intimate, it's a very romantic setting. What I love about this lodge is it's completely set or completely built inside the river forest or riverine forest. So you are surrounded by the trees and the birds and the bees, and you cannot hear or you cannot see your neighbors at all. You have complete privacy around your suite. All of the suites at Little Bush Camp, there's 6 of them, as I mentioned, have inside and outside showers. They all have beautiful wraparound decks around the front of them with a private jacuzzi on the deck. So again, you can imagine honeymooners coming back to their suite in the evening. There's a private dinner set up, rose pebbles, candles, lanterns. The amount of champagne and rose pebbles that we go through in this lodge is just ridiculous. So very intimate, very private setting. Also keep in mind that Little Bush is a great option for exclusive use if you have a small group or a larger family traveling to book out the entire lodge, of course. And then lastly, but not least, we have Earth Lodge. For those of you who have seen Earth Lodge before, you will know that Earth is different to anything else that's out there. The design of this lodge is contemporary, it's minimalist, and yet it also has a great earthy feel to it, with lots of stone, lots of water, lots of woodwork throughout the lodge. And we've tried here to bring as many natural elements as possible into an otherwise contemporary structure. Now, for me, Earth Lodge is for a slightly more sophisticated guest, someone who's looking for a very unique setting, beautiful food, beautiful wine. Dinner is always 5 courses. Chef presents the menu, recommends wine to go with the different courses. 6,500 bottles of South African wine in the cellar. So, of course, a wine and food lovers paradise. And Earth Lodge really just offers that something extra and something special that's very hard to put into words. For those of you who've been around for donkey's years, like myself, you might remember the old Earth Lodge pictures. The suites were very dark, but we completed a refurbishment here in the beginning of 2020, just before the pandemic hit. And the very first thing that we did in the suites was to install a ceiling throughout the suite. So the ceiling used to be the same texture as the walls, making it quite dark. And the addition of the white ceiling has just opened up the space and made it feel a lot bigger and a lot more open. And again, then we replaced all of the decor, flooring. It's not a carpet, by the way. The images, unfortunately, are a little bit misleading, but it's those quartz pebble flooring that they installed here. 120 square meters, so very spacious. Brand new bathrooms with a marble sunken bathtub, marble backsplash to the basins there. And my favorite place now at Earth Lodge is sitting outside on your deck, glass of wine in your hand, in the pool, out the pool, siesta on the couch. This is just the most amazing place. And we're seeing a lot of our guests who are staying with us for a second or a third time, staying for 4 nights, 5 nights, 6 nights even, and not necessarily always going on every safari, but also relaxing and enjoying the beautiful setting that they're staying in. So that gives you an idea of the architecture. And of course, being on safari is quite hazardous. You do overeat. So there is a private gym instructor, of course, to make sure that you burn off those calories while you're staying with us. And for those who are inclined to head to the spa, again, there's a beautiful spa facility at Earth Lodge. Guys, please keep in mind that we are a fully inclusive destination. So meals, drinks, safaris, walking safaris, everything, of course, is included in the rate at Earth Lodge. We also cater for a wide variety of dietary requirements. The only dietary requirement that we unfortunately do not have the facilities for is kosher meals. But if you ever have guests who have kosher requirements, please reach out to me. And I can assist you from my side. We do have some amazing options with regards to chefs who can either come out or prepare meals for guests who do have those requirements. And guys, that's a very quick wrap up of who we are and what we do. I am going to stop sharing this presentation, get myself on the screen here. In a nutshell, just a few notes to please make. First of all, of course, families at Bush Lodge. So please keep that in mind. The family market, both domestic and international, has just exploded. Please also keep in mind that there is no single supplement at Sabi for your first 2 singles per booking. Please also keep in mind that our friends at Cullinan or at Thompson's can assist you with our Stay 4, Pay 3 offer, which is available on our South African residence or SADC rates also. It's a 25% discount, so a very, very attractive option to put forward to your guests for those of you who are agents joining us. And that again is valid for the periods that our SRS rates are valid for. So on a 4-night stay, you get 1 night gratis. So a very good option to keep in mind. For those of you who do also work with the international market, or you have some international clients, we also have our fly-in packages, which I'm sure the guys at Thompson's will also be able to share with you, where we include flight options out of Johannesburg, but those are based off rack rate or off STO rates. If you were to go onto our website, onto sabi.com, we all know our clients do that. You would not find our SA Res or SADC rates on our website. Those are purely available through through our trade partners like Thompson's. And you will also notice that our rack rates on our website are very much inflated. So we make ourselves a lot more expensive online than what our trade partners are able to offer to our clients and to our agents. So we try and keep things as fair as possible. And that, I think, is a quick wrap. Are there any questions from cyberspace? Anything that you guys are wondering about? Or
Thanks, Jan. That was awesome. A lovely update, and the lodges are looking amazing. Yeah, they look stunning. I do have one question here. If there are children under 6 and clients don't want children to go on a game drive, do they have babysitting? If so, is there cost involved?
Yeah, so we do. So we do have babysitting services available. I'm going to lie to you. I think it's about 250 Rand an hour or something like that. But that can be arranged. Yes, no problem at all.
Okay, perfect. I don't see any other messages in the box. Does anybody else have any more questions for Jan? And Jan, obviously we've seen a lot of rain in the region and flooding in the region. How were you affected? And yeah, let us a bit of insight into the flooding.
Of course, we're running amazing specials on mud wraps in the spas at the moment. It has been very wet in the Lowveld, and I see that the beautiful cyclone is making a turn back towards Mozambique. So that'll be interesting. Guys, with regards to the facilities, we did sustain some flood damage at Earth Lodge. I'm talking about a couple of weeks ago now with the initial flooding, but that has been sorted out, and we closed off Earth Lodge for a few days just to get things to dry out. But with regards to lodge facilities, everything is up and running and available, so you guys don't need to stress about that. Our biggest challenge, of course, has been access into the reserve. The roads have literally, I mean, I saw pictures of tractors buried halfway up to, you know, like this deep in mud. It's been incredible trying to fix the roads and get the road infrastructure up and running again. So what we are doing is our team, when we know that there are issues on the ground, our team will be in touch with you guys the day before. We obviously always ask for guests' cell phone numbers also, so that we can contact them on the day. And it might happen that we have to divert your guests to the Protea Kruger Gate, for example. They've been great partners, so guests would park there and then we would fetch them with a 4-wheel drive vehicle. Or if Skukuza is cut off, then, you know, we have 2 or 3 other alternative routes to take. So it has been a ever-changing picture in the bush. The only real impact on guests has been that we are not able to do any off-road driving at the moment. You can imagine with the amount of rain that we've had, 5-ton Land Cruiser is not going to get very far in the mud. So safaris are limited to the roads. But again, you know, we have a tracker and a ranger on the vehicle, so we are still finding the animals and we are still able to show our guests what's out there.
Fabulous.
Yeah, it's been fun and games.
It's been a challenge, I'm sure. Like everything in travel, hey, never a dull moment.
No, absolutely.
I see there's another question. Can a 15-year-old share at Earth Lodge?
Complicated question. So it's not, having triples and quads is not so much about the person sleeping in the room. It's about seats on safari vehicles. So at Earth Lodge, you know, we are limited to 6 guests per vehicle. So if you have that scenario where, you've got a 15-year-old who needs to share with mom and dad, which we completely understand, I would suggest that you guys reach out to our race team and see whether that is possible on those specific dates. So the answer is not no, the answer is not yes, the answer is depending on what's happening on the ground at that stage. Like I said, it's not about the physical person, it's about the seat on a safari vehicle. So I hope that sort of answers your question.
Yep, it does. Thank you. And then I've just got absolutely love this product. Does anybody else have any questions at all for Jan? I think you have pretty much covered everything, but I'm sure. Anybody? No.
Well, guys, if there's anything, please, the folks at Thompson's have my details. If any of you need to reach out and ask any questions, or you have guests heading our way, please keep me in the loop. I'm always happy to assist and always happy to know when guests are headed our way. And thank you so much for your support, and best of luck with the rest of this absolutely crazy year. It feels like it should be December already, and it's only March.
Thank you, Jan. We appreciate your time. And yeah, everybody, thanks for joining. I'll see you again next week, and have a good day.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.